Hey, welcome back everyone. I'm going to go over my trades from yesterday and today. So there's no market open tomorrow because of July 4th, 4th of July. So we had VCIG pop up on the scanner, and when this popped up on the scanner yesterday, I saw this squeeze up. News came out, and I really wasn't sure if this was the right move, but there was some momentum on it. So I see it pop up, it's 252, goes from 252 all the way to 280, and then a big candle up to 325. So I wait for it to pull back, and what I'm doing is while I'm waiting for the proper pullback, I want to wait for this candle to kind of squeeze up. So I actually add up here, but then I end up getting flushed. So it got flushed, and I'm hoping for the break towards 315. My average was around $3. So as this was going down, I was adding, hoping for potential break up to the VWAP, and I was looking at the 1 minute chart. I was like, okay, this could still have some opportunity to move. It's low float, and I felt that the volume was right for it, and it would squeeze up, get rejected at 304, come back down. It stops out right here, all the way down to 260. 254, 256 lowest for this candle, and I really didn't stop out. So why didn't I stop out? Well, I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, this can still squeeze. It's still showing MACD positive on the 1 minute, and normally I don't take whatever I see on the 10-second chart. I really don't, I don't take that as the full story. I have to zoom out and kind of see what it is for what it is. So I think that this is possibly the reversal that I'm looking for on the 1 minute chart right here on this green candle. So it starts to squeeze up over VWAP. So I'm like, okay, it's getting some momentum, then rejects. Goes up again and then rejects and flushes out, and I'm holding still. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And it's going up again and it instantly rejects 314. I was in the positive around here, trying to get out, but I couldn't sell. Couldn't sell because it was very quick, and that's what happens when you're on a broker like Charles Schwab. You're not going to get the fastest execution versus if you're trading on Lightspeed or on a better broker, and you would typically pay those fees, for that service, to get in, get out, where you want. But this was very, very quick, and it just kept rejecting, and for some time it just kind of fell, and I just stopped out right here. I was like, okay, it's done. I didn't think it would go anymore after that, and it really didn't. Tried again, later, but it just didn't go. So I was like, okay, maybe this wasn't the right news, and I'm lost for the day for about $83. So I'm like, okay, that was yesterday's trade. Today's trade was a lot better. Today's trade with EMPG. EMPG was actually a initial offering, so initial public offering stock. I've never really traded those. So with these can go up as high as it can. There's no real limit. The float was, not zero. You have to check the filings for the float. But, I've never really traded an IPO, and I was like, okay, this can be a really good icebreaker to trade an IPO for the morning or for my experience. And I get in around right here. So we're going to see where my entry was about 765. 765, I'm looking for this. It squeezes up. I get in around here, and I keep squeezing, and I get out for around 910, 903. And I get in for a winner for 134, which is really good. But I was kind of getting some FOMO because you can see how much it's squeezed up by. From here, from 9, it went all the way up to 15 before it rejected a little bit. And then after that, it squeezes up to 19. I easily could have had a $1,000 day. But why didn't I hold? Well, I just had a couple losses the last 2 days. Tuesday was a big loss day. And, yesterday was a small loss. But I couldn't afford to take any risk. I had to take my base hit. You have to take your base hits, and I was like, I'm okay with that. I did end the week pretty strong, and the month pretty strong. The week, not so much. So on the week, we're about down, I believe, a little over 200, and not looking so good for July. 255 on the month, 255 on the week. So next couple of days, next week when we come back, we're gonna, take our base hits. If this is what our base hit is like, 134, 170. That's perfectly fine. We're not going to try to play superhero and try to make it all back. This trade could have easily made all the losses back from last month and this week. But I had to manage my risk. Why? Well, this is an initial public offering stock. There wasn't real news on it. And yeah, it squeezed up to a high of, $23. But look how much it just suddenly sank after, 15 minutes. It just kept going further and further. So what if that happened here? What if I kept holding? What if I kept holding and boom, sinks all the way down and I'm in the negative? It can happen. I've seen some gnarly candles. It's not worth taking the risk. I had a good day today. So, I'm glad I ended the week, on the green day rather than the red day, because then I'd have to carry those emotions for the next 3 days and I'd be itching to jump back in. Now I'm a bit at ease, and I realize I still have all of next week and the rest of July to make up from this week and just slowly rebuild. And I can still come out positive this month and carry on my profit from the last 3 months. So I'm looking for July to be pretty good as well. Yeah, it's been Monday. Monday was okay. We'll go here. Monday on June. Let's see, where did we get at June? Yeah, June 30th was not too bad. June 30th was $120, so it's okay, but it still counts as part of June. So going into Monday, I'm going to be a bit impatient. If I notice I'm tired, I have to take a step back and really focus in. It's 4 a.m. whenever I wake up, and sometimes I go to bed pretty late because of my training. I do judo for training. Sometimes I come back late, so I need to just be aware that, okay, when I'm tired, I need to really start asking more questions. Oh, is this the right stock? I felt like earlier in the month of June, I was asking myself, is this the right setup? Is this a quality stock? Is this the right stock? I would just constantly talk to myself, and I feel like that's what helped me went through, got through a lot of June with good profits. But, when I took my losses on Tuesday, Thursday, I really wasn't in that mindset where I was like, okay, is this the right stock? Tuesday, Wednesday. I was just trading more out of emotion, and it's hard to kind of get yourself out of that place when you're just trading based on emotion versus when you're actively, thinking and conscious and control, you're able to make better decisions. So I'm still working on that, but I'm not upset. I've had these days before. It'll become a problem when, I start accumulating more losses. So that's when I need to kind of zoom out and start giving myself guardrails. I need to take starter positions. I told myself yesterday I was going to take a starter position, but I broke my rule. Meaning, starter position, I'm not going to go full in first trade of the day. I'm going to start with a single size. A single size for me is 100 shares. And that's what I was doing for most of June until I got more comfortable with taking more risk, and that led me to higher profit. So I need to understand that the initial setup for me, the initial trade for me is going to be huge, because that's what's going to determine the rest of my day and potentially the rest of the month. So I'm not upset. We're going to come back strong Monday and all of next week, and we'll be okay. Have a good 4th, and stay safe, everyone. Peace.